Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much for joining me here yet again. Of course, we are talking Currie Cup final, which played off on the 20th September 2025 at Ellis Park, Johannesburg. Currie was facing off against the Fidelity ADT Lions, and history was made in probably the most rememberable and biggest upset in Currie Cup history. Currie was taking this one in what I can only describe as history repeating itself in a fantastic fashion. In the dying moments of the game, Currie was George Whitehead lining up a penalty goal, beating the ADT Lions yet again by 2 points, 27-25. History repeating itself from 2024 with the exact same situation happening. Dying moments of the game, a penalty goal was conceded by ADT Lions. Jaden Hendrickson lines up the shot and sings it straight in between the poles, almost identical. Also, not a short shot from George Whitehead, within striking distance, but it was about a 56 meter, almost 60 meter kick, which put him into the 2-point lead. And by the celebration, I definitely could tell that this was probably the happiest moments, or the most defining moments to every Currie player on that field. Ending effectively a 55-year Currie Cup drought for these boys. Last time the Currie got it was in 1970. So this was history in the making, absolutely. Lions, of course, led the charge at halftime with 17-14, and it was a seesaw matchup. Honestly, it was just beautiful to watch, though. Hufka basically scored the first try right off the starting blocks in the first half. Smith then got a rather unexpected penalty goal in for the Lions, opening their scoreboard for 3 points. Peku then basically hitting back with his first try for the Lions in this game. Oosthuizen then taking over, retaliating for that try, and then Richard Creel basically getting a beautiful try in between the poles for the ADT Lions as well, just before half time. So it was definitely a bit of a seesaw matchup there. Every team, really sussing the other one out, testing their strengths, testing their defensive lines, testing their attack opportunities, and then taking advantage of every single opportunity that came up. In that cloakroom, must have been some serious harsh words spoken, because coming back in second half, there wasn't really much of point scoring happening. The first penalty goal by George went in on the 44th minute, and then the first try by Van Wyk. That was shortly after that, or not shortly, I think it was about 30 minutes later, it was retaliated by Zwelindaba with his try, for almost underneath the poles as well, with a conversion by George Whitehead. So, and also George Whitehead trying to attempting 3 drop goals, but unfortunately not sinking them, missing out on 9 points there, which probably could have given the Griquas even a more comfortable win over the ADT Lions, but it just wasn't to be. And then obviously Dubela got his penalty goal in just before the final whistle blew. I think it was about 2 minutes, and then they went into overtime, and then just within that 50 to 60 meter distance from the goal line, disaster struck. Ruan Delport getting caught by the TMO, Egon Seconds, and then who obviously reported that to Christopher Allison, the referee, being called out for a deliberate knockdown, and you can clearly see him going in to the breakdown and slapping the ball out of the player's hands as he's placing it, as he's reaching back to place it for his team. Yeah, big no-no. Luckily for him, he wasn't given a yellow card or anything. I mean, it was the dying moments of the game, so it wouldn't have helped anyway. But called a deliberate knockdown. And that gave George Whitehead the opportunity to make history. And well deserved for him, as he got the man of the match. Made history for his team. Honestly, I think the celebrations within that small town was definitely... I mean, they showed up the underdogs within the game. It was a David and Goliath type of story. You know, your players from a very obscure small town, you know, of Kimberley within the Northern Cape, coming to the big city, the Golden City, to make history and defeat the Lions by 2 points. Lions visibly disappointed, took a huge morale knock. As you could see, literally the players walking off, hands in their head, fingers in their hair, and, you know, head hung low, while the Griek was just absolutely, I mean, you could see them beaming with pride, with happiness, with just celebration all round. It was just absolutely a scene to behold within the Gold City. Just absolutely fantastic. With the last last 5 victories has obviously been the Bulls between 2020 and 2021. They basically got it back to back. Erling Pumas taking it in 2022, with Toyota Cheetahs in 2023, and then obviously Hollywood Beach Sharks in the same dramatic and fantastic fashion, securing the victory for themselves in 2024. Just this final absolutely just breathed life back into the trophy, as more and more people started flocking, you know, to the Currie Cup events, and it was just absolutely wonderful to see. This is the Rolls Royce of South African rugby. This is where the teams are chosen. This is where history is made. And again, you know, I would like to say well done to Asenatle Tlabakanye being within the team on the field for this Currie Cup final. Unfortunately, your team not making it, not his fault. But speaking of which, it is now the South Africa versus Argentina game that's coming up on the 27th of September. That'll be in Hollywood Bets King Park in Durban. It's going to be one of the games. Angus Gardner officiating that one. It's going to be huge. In the last 5 games that we've gone toe-to-toe with Argentina, they've only won 1. But that is a feather in their cap. I mean, they've beaten the world champions. Just going to show, once again, like I've always said, Argentina has come up leaps and bounds over the last couple of years, really doing well for themselves, making strong comebacks and strong victories. Recently now, obviously beating both Australia and New Zealand in brilliant and fantastic fashion. So really the Argentinians can be proud of their team and the improvement that they've made over the years. Just absolutely fantastic to see. So yeah, this is going to be the nail-biting finale of the Rugby Championship. Not really going to do anything for Argentina though. I don't think they have any hopes of winning this championship, but they could seriously injure our world ranking standings. So I'm hoping for a back-to-back victory. Second game will obviously be played then in England. I think it's in London, in the London Stadium. So definitely I'm hoping for a back-to-back victory for the South Africans, because that we really need that number 1 spot back. Like I said in the past, that this is going to affect our standings within the pool selection for the 2027 World Cup. And if we want a more favorable standing, we really need to pull our socks up and start playing for that standing. Getting the number 1 spot back would be a definite good start. And then keeping it, obviously, it's not going to be easy. So, yeah, the up-and-coming fixtures for this next... Oh, before I go there, let me just come back a bit to the URC, which is now starting within a couple of weeks as well. The Stormers will be facing Leinster in the opening matches, and unfortunately they'll be doing it without Salman Murat, as Davy Snyman has given us an injury update, and it seems to be likely that Salman Murat will not be coming back within the opening matches, but hopefully we will be having him back on the 3rd of October when we square off against Ospreys. That's also going to be a huge game. Stormers got their work cut out for them, facing two really, really strong teams within the opening matches. The Bulls seems to have been cleaning house. Marcel could see her. Most of the other coaching staff have been giving us a bit of a report that they've been cleaning house, getting rid of some staff members within the Bulls coaching team and with a club that really hasn't been pulling their weight around too much. They haven't really given any names. They haven't elaborated too much on the lack of performance, but is this now sort of blaming their loss of the Currie Cup on that? Because I don't really think that that's kind of fair. Most of the players really kind of pull their weight on the field as much as they can. No team likes to lose. No player likes to lose. And no player likes to play in a losing team. So everybody is going to try and pull their weight and do whatever they can. But according to Bulls coaching staff, they are cleaning house now, getting rid of some of the elements or people within the staff, coaching staff or club staff that hasn't really been, convincing them that they've been, performing as they should. The Sharks is also banking on some book muscle coming back within the URC now as they hunt for the trophy as well. John Plumtree reveals his plans for the Springbok contingent coming into the Sharks team now for the URC matchup. Obviously those players that will be joining the Rassie's I think 38-man team going into the Argentinian tour is not going to be present. So and I do believe Valiru is going to be back as on full back now for this game on Saturday against Argentina. With the loss obviously of Apelele Fassi, he's gone under the knife with an ankle injury, and he's been seen now recently at the latest event with a moon boot on. So he definitely will not be ready for the final matches. And of course he's I think he plays for the Bulls, so he will definitely not be ready for the Bulls in the opening matches of the URC as well. But also probably will be chosen to go on tour with the Springboks as soon as he's recovered, later this year as well, because there's quite a bit of lineup coming there. Then URC is now taking a trial run at the 20-minute red card rule. We saw it first now used recently within the under-20 Springboks World Championship. So they are giving it a more professional trial run now, and I hope that chair's getting a bit of a it's getting old just like me. But the refs is getting a trial run now, and I hope that they are up to the task to implement the 20-minute red card as well. Now what basically that entails is that for more minor infractions that is kind of conduct unbecoming or really dangerous play in different degrees, you can issue a 20-minute red card. Now what that means is that the player that goes off after 20 minutes can be replaced by another player. The cited player obviously is not coming back. He's probably going to suffer a four game ban or 2 or 3 game ban for his infraction, but after 20 minutes the team can replace their red card with another player. So that's going to be making for some really interesting matchups as well. And yeah, it seems like there is a bit of a controversy over the Springboks number 10 jersey. Still players fighting tooth and nail to run out with that number 10 jersey on in every game. And it doesn't seem to find a consistent home, though, within the Springbok team within the 2025 season. We've seen it being worn by Andre Pollard now, then Moni Lebok, then Sasha Fanbakumuzulu. So not a permanent placement found for the number 10 jersey as of yet. So that's pretty much a hot topic. And yeah, of course, that we also coming into the round 5. Like I said, for the Rugby Championship, it'll be Australia going up against the All Blacks at Eden Park in the next round. So it seems like Joe Schmidt has been tweaking the squad a bit, hopefully to be the first team. And I think this really will be a feather in their cap if they could do this, to end the All Blacks 52 victory streak within Eden Park. I mean, they stand now 52 games undefeated on their home soil there in that stadium. So if they could pull it off, it'll definitely be one for the history books as well. Australia can walk out there with their head held high. Even if they do lose the second game against New Zealand will never be able to take that away from them if they can do this. This has been a stronghold for the All Blacks that's been defended by them quite severely, quite brutally, and I don't think they're going to be wanting to let go of this just yet. Yeah, also Kanan Moody seems to be coming in now again for Jesse Kriel in this next match against Argentina. So that is a bit of a controversy, but I'm pretty sure that is again just Rassie trying to, give a bit of rest to some of the veteran players there. We're gonna need them in the upcoming battles coming in for towards the end of the year, and obviously trying to save them as well for the World Cup, which is only 2 years away. So yeah, definitely something that we're gonna need to look into. And yeah, the log as it stands at the moment, Australia is leading by 11 points. By 11 points within this tournament. South Africa is lying second with 10 points, equalizing there with New Zealand in third place. Argentina is trailing behind at 9 points in fourth place. So definitely one of the games that we're going to be looking out for. Also, yeah, I did mention that in the last 5 games, Argentina did manage to win the Springbok once. So definitely it is going to be something to look forward to. But thank you very much, guys, for joining me. That is it from me. Please give me your comments in the comments field below. Let me know what you guys think. What is your opinion on the upcoming matches for the Springboks? What do you think for the URC? Who's got the best chance of taking it this year? Do you think Ulster might be coming back? Leinster maybe again? Are we seeing maybe an upset from one of the other teams? Ulster maybe coming in from one of the South African teams again. I would love to see it back in the hands of the Stormers, but yeah, I need to be realistic here. With all the chop and changes that's been happening, players basically losing players to various other teams, and of course with the injuries that's happening as well within the Stormers line, I'm not holding out a lot of hope, but there's always hope, and I'm basically going to hang on to that as much as I can. But thank you very much for joining me. Yeah, give me a like and subscribe if you haven't done so yet. And then still from a very kind of obscure Cape Town, we had very much winter yesterday. Today was again a lovely summer's day. But definitely, you guys take care of yourselves and your loved ones as well. I'll be seeing you next week once again. Peace out.
Dylan Shoblom, once a Griqua himself, brought down. And Klabakanya, yet again at first receiver, Chris Smith looks to play it Cute with the chicken wing, the grabber through comes from Gershon Weir. Here comes danger from the Griquas against the run of play. They will open the scoring through Cameron Hafka.